Hi there and welcome to the channel. My name is Stu and today we're going to be playing some City Skylines on the PlayStation 4. We're going to be doing a new game. We're starting on a new map and I have selected the Foggy Hills map. As you can see here, it's got a decent pool of natural resources and all of the outside connections a man can require, and also a decent area for building on. So let's crack on from there. The city name we can come back to later. We'll just take the standard, and I'm going to turn on left-hand traffic because I'm based in the UK and it is the only thing I know. Other than that, we're going to be taking the standard settings, weather on, night cycle off for now. We might turn it on later because it does look stunning when it goes, but it's tricky to build when it's dark. So yeah, let's go from there. Obviously, we won't be using any of the cheats, as I'm going to be treating this as a let's play. You know, we want all the trials and tribulations of setting up a city, managing the budget, and generally trying to make it work in the proper fashion. Right, so let's just let that load up. Couple of little bits and pieces. I've already got a plan in mind for starting out. I'm hoping it should be pretty effective. With a bit of luck it will be. I guess we will see as it goes along. And yeah, we'll talk through what we're doing, why we're doing it, and yeah, generally the way I like to build my cities. If you fancy playing along at home, please do so. It'd be nice to find how other people go about doing similar things, or if you're completely new to the game, this might give you a decent starting point. So here we are in our opening tile of the map. We've got a nice little area to build on here, a lovely little river running down the side. I think I'm going to put the residential on this side, kind of close to the river, because hey, who doesn't want some waterfront property? And then I'll go with the industry side of things over this side here by the hill. It's always nice to have a vague idea what you want to do before you start, because it might help inform any decisions you want to make. So, right, first things first, you want to pause the game. Hit L3, pause that up, as that will make life a lot easier, and once you've done that, the next thing you have to do is turn on the radio, because this game's a lot better with a soundtrack. I've got a whole bunch of DLC. I'm going to be using the Synthetic Dawn radio because I really like it, so let's get that cracking. Boom. We'll skip the commercials because they are not conducive to me talking over them. And right, let's move on. So first things first, we're going to want to start putting some roads down and extend out from this highway here. When you first start the game, you are presented with a choice of one road. All the others are locked out, and you can just put in a two-lane road. Now, what I like to do is I just like to do one small square like that, and then using square, and then X, delete it straight away. The reason I do that is because once you've placed your first section of road, it actually unlocks some of the other road types, as you can see here, for your use. Most importantly, it unlocks the two-lane one-way road, which means I can now successfully carry on the highway. Now, my plan is I want to extend the highway down a little bit further, create a bit of breathing space for the city, and yeah, this is kind of what I've planned out, so we'll see if it works. So I'm going to extend this one down 2,200 length and cost. Going to come down 2 squares, match that up, and then go straight back. Bam! That's been nicely highlighted. Now, because I'm from the UK, the next thing I want to do is add in a roundabout pretty much straight away. So using the curve tool, I'm going to put a little roundabout at the end here. The way the curve tool works is you set an initial direction, and then you can curve it around to your desired point. Now I'm going to come out 5 units there. We'll do another 5 down to there, and then I'm going to skip out a little bit and then do the same thing here to connect back up to the other side of the highway. And this is just to keep things even. We like things, you know, to have like a nice amount of symmetry, at least early on. And there we go. I'm already feeling 100% better about myself. We've got a lovely little roundabout at the end. Superb. Now, next thing, we're going to create a couple of little roads out to house our industry and our residential areas. So I'm going to come out 1200 on this side, and probably down to, I think it was 2400. Boom. Like that. That's going to be for the industry in a second. We'll talk through that, and then we are going to put a slightly larger road in on this side. Now, we're going to use this dual carriageway. I like to use the larger road here because this is more planning for the future. This will get busy, and having the extra lanes will definitely prove to be beneficial. So there we go. Looking lovely. Now, as the people are going to be living on this side, we need to give them somewhere to live. So I'm going to put up a couple of little blocks for my residents to move into. I'm going to go down this side. Just space these out relatively evenly. My cities always start off grid base. Oh no, it's one in the middle there. Thank you very much. We can get a little bit more creative with it as we move on, but certainly in the early stages, you want to keep things as simple as possible, just from a budget management point of view, really. And I shall explain why we're doing that in a second. Let me just round these out whilst I'm thinking about it. Oh, that's annoying. Trying to go too fast, messing it up. I've done it again. Thank you. Okay, so there we go. We've got a lovely little area here where our people are going to live, and they're going to come to work over here. Now, what I want to do is to create dedicated highway access for the industrial area, and the reason for that is I want to keep all the heavy trucks and things that the industry area will generate away from the residential side of things as much as possible. And this should help traffic flow in the greater scheme of things. So my intention here is I'm going to use a one-way road. I'm going to build out. And we're going to come over the highway and basically create dedicated entry and exit points. So if my calculations are correct, I should be able to curve this nicely over the top here. Boom, look at that. Superb, you can see that there. Looking good, and now I just need to join them back into the main highway. So we're going to go back to our straight roads, press down on the D-pad to move that down. Looking nice. Come down a little bit further, probably up to that node there, and then sweep back in. So that now the industry trucks can leave, get back onto the highway, get out of the city without interfering with whatever it is that's happening over here. And similarly, we want to make sure they have their own entry point to get into this industry area. So I'm going to use similar plan here. I'm going to come out, try and keep it as symmetrical as possible, right to about there, and we'll also do that. Now the roads will kind of naturally curve in the straight tool. If you can use the freeform or curved roads to put that out, but the straight one kind of takes the best guess at what you're after. And I think that looks pretty decent. Now the next plan is carrying on with the one-way road system. I just want to make a little section here. Now what this is going to do is going to create a little way, almost like a little square about, if you will. And I'll show you there's a reason for this. So when I connect this up with a bit of luck, this should work quite nicely. Now we're going to go down there, just to, I want that line, where are you? I'll do. Now, let's put that in the wrong way around. So you can use change direction tool here, just swap those rows around. So now the trucks can come off, move around there, and they're getting into the industry area. Now carrying on with the one-way vibe, I'm going to give them a choice of either coming through here effectively to get straight back out again. That's more for future needs. I'm just going to come down, come around there, and I actually want this to be a one-way system flowing on down there. So effectively you're forcing the trucks to take a certain route around the area. This for me is just generally good planning and will help with traffic flow later in life. Now I want to upgrade this one, so I've actually put the 2-lane road here each way. I'm going to upgrade this to a 1-way, and helpfully it's put those the wrong way around. So let's swap those back around again. Boom, boom, and boom. Lovely. So now we have a nice little 1-way system for the trucks to come in and deliver their goods once we've got some industry in here. Now I'm going to put a couple of little connection roads in. Now the plan here is this is going to help the trucks to get where they need to go a little bit quicker, and also it just creates options. Now you don't want to create too many, as it can come with its own pitfalls, but as a general rule, you know, only the trucks that need to come down to any industry here, say for example, will follow this all the way around, and it should just sort of disperse the traffic out a little bit more than it would normally. Right, okay, so that is my basic layout. I think it looks pretty decent. It should work. Now we've got the roads, we need to start adding in the zoning, and we need to add in some power and some water to do that. So we're going to come to the utilities menu here, and I'm going to put in straight away a coal power plant. Now you can go, it's an expensive it's an expensive choice at 19,000. However, I find for me, if you can get one in early, it saves you a few issues further down the line. I'm going to put it over here by the industry because it's going to create pollution. If you can see, actually, I'll just show you here. See that orange bubble? That's going to shows you the area that it will be polluting. It's going to create sound and noise pollution, and it's also going to pollute the ground. So you kind of want it away from your residents if you can. The industry guys don't care about pollution, but the residents will. They'll get sick, and you don't want that. So now I'm going to need to make sure the power is shared from here across to where my residents are going to be living. As you can see, you get a little blue area around here. This is the area that the power plant powers, and you can connect that to other areas with power lines. So I'm going to come across here and just go over the highway nice and neatly if I can. Superb. And we'll come in here. I'm also going to go just a little bit further over, just down to the end, and that should hopefully share that power with any buildings that pop up here. Once that's ready, looking good, and the next thing I need to do is put some pipes in for the water. We're going to start off here on the industry side. I like to build my pipes directly under roads. There's nothing stopping you from building them anywhere else, but to my mind that's sort of where they naturally fit. And the idea being here is similar to the power. You get a blue area which shows you the area that these pipes will provide water to, so you want to make sure that the map is covered. An area like that I think is going to be okay. I'm not too concerned about that. Obviously we can fix it up if anybody starts complaining when they move in. We'll do that, that looks nice, and then we'll just come down these ones to make sure anybody I put here has all the water they need. Now, pipes are great, but you need to fill them with something, and helpfully we've got a lovely river here, so what I'm going to do is extend the pipe down towards the river, and then we're going to need one of these, a water pumping station. Now that sucks the water out from the water, again creates pollution. You can see the orange bubble around it there, so again try and keep it away from your residents if you can. I'm going to pop that there, and then similarly we need somewhere to output any wastewater, so we have the drain pipe. Now I'm going to put that a little bit further downstream. Always put it downstream. If you were to place it up here, you can see the way the water's flowing via the arrows there, and you'd have your waste flowing directly out of the pipe into your water intake, and that can create sickness for your citizens, which obviously no one wants to be drinking their own filth. So we need to hook these up to the water supply, so get those together and just come in there. Lovely. And the other thing these two buildings are going to need is they're going to need some power. Again, you can see this is the area power needs to get to for them to function, so we're just going to extend the power line down from here, and we're just going to come across as neatly as possible, just to there maybe, and then we'll do one more up over to here. Fantastic. So everybody's hooked up. we have water, we have power. Now we need to do some zoning. And sorry, I've just noticed my budget, $30 left. You start with 70,000. I should have mentioned that earlier. And I have used all of that up. Luckily, I have everything I need. I didn't think it was going to be that tight. Okay, right, well, luckily I don't think I need to spend anything else now. We just need to tell people where to move in. So we'll start out with our industry. We're going to fill in these areas. Industry, you guys can come down here. They should naturally gravitate to sort of start nearest the power. It's relatively clever in the way it does that. Now we're going to use the green for the residential zones, so I'm just going to paint these guys in. Again, the power will spread naturally across buildings. You don't need to make sure every individual building has a power supply. They will spread to each other, so you can zone down these sides, keep it relatively small to begin with. I could have gone all the way down with the zoning, but it's happened to me before where I've done that, you know, come in with big intentions, and all the buildings have spawned down one end of the zone and never actually hooked up to the power. So try and keep it close. I'm going to put a little bit of commercial right on the oh, not there, here, yeah, just along these two sections here, so these lovely people will have somewhere to shop if and when they eventually move in. And these rocks are bugging me, so I'm just going to delete those quickly because they'll get in the way of the houses. Right, I think that is everything taken care of. Little checklist in my head. Water, yes. Power, yes. Zoning, yes. So before I start off the simulation, a couple of things I want to have a look at, make sure we get the right menu. We're going to go into the economy tab here. Now a lot of this is locked down early on. You see I can't change any of these taxes, still locked. They don't unlock until we reach a certain population milestone. Budget we can affect, and this is what I want to have a look at. We'll be, for the early days, we'll be creating far too much power and far too much water. So I'm actually going to drop these right down so that our early spending isn't too much. We're not going to need 100% of the power we're producing, so setting these back down to 50 will ease the amount of money we're going to start losing initially. We are going to lose money, but this will keep it low. And just to round out everything else we see here, we've got a loans tab, again all locked at the moment, but you can take out loans should you require. And then we have a general income and expenses, which, you know, just gives you a little overview of where you're spending your money once everything is set up. But we'll come back and look at that maybe later on. So I think we're looking good. So let's start off the simulation. I'm going to go straight into 3-speed here, and we'll wait and see what happens. We should start to see some residential popping up with a little bit of luck. Here we go, and as you get, there you go, look, they come in as close to the power as they can. And if we have a look using the power line here, you can sort of see where the power's spreading. And as the houses pop up, this area expands, and as this area has a power line included in it, it starts flashing, and you can say, yep, these guys are getting power, and everything's going very, very well. You've got the little bar up on the top left there showing you what's available. We're currently producing 10 megawatts of power, not using any because, well, there's no one here to use it just yet. Now the way this works is, obviously the buildings are being built, but we won't have any residents yet. The reason for that is they actually travel in to the city to move in. You know, you've got this lovely new city sat here, we're setting up for them, and we've got to wait for the people to arrive to make use of these lovely new buildings that we're creating. So that's all running out quite nicely. You get a good little mix of the standard buildings early on. You can force the styles of the buildings later on via districts, but again, that's a conversation for another day, or another episode at the very least. So here we go. Right, that's looking nice. We might start to see some vehicles coming through soon. Let's see what's on the horizon. Anything? That's a no. Oh, we're starting to see some cars appear, but none of them seem to be particularly interested in coming to see us right now. Okay, that's fine. I'm sure the time will come. We'll just back up here a little bit and wait and see. Anybody else? No? Okay, fine. Take your time. I mean, you know, it's not like I'm trying to run a let's play here or anything. Very inconsiderate. And now look, we're even getting the industry starting to come in to make sure there are jobs available for the people when they arrive. It's looking good. All these buildings will pollute. You can see that here. Oh, hang on a second. We've got some people coming in. Oh, that's right. I like to check in on the first people to arrive. Here they are. See who we've got. Nancy Greenaway. Oh, fantastic. She works at the coal power plant. Nice. So you coming to where you live? Actually, let's follow her home. Let's follow her home. So follow on. Right, here she comes. Slow her down. Here you go, Nancy. She goes. Where do you live, Nancy? Let's have a look. She comes. Welcome. As your new mayor, I welcome you to this new fantastic city. May your stay here be profitable and well-rounded. May you live a long and happy, prosperous life. Thank you, Nancy. Oh, look at this. We're getting some lovely, lovely buildings coming in. That's all filling out very nicely indeed. Everybody, yeah, come on in. Oh, look at this. It's lovely. Right, they're coming in suitably quick. That's filling up. I think I'm going to need to put in some more zoning here. Let's do that. I'm going to stick with the select tool because I don't want to fill this all the way out. Let's just going up to there. Oh, autosave. Oh, that's clicked in. Good. And we'll do you as well. And then let's carry on with this commercial down the middle as well. Create a kind of high street vibe. Lovely. Look at that. Now, when you're using dual carriageways like this, the default road connection will be a massive set of traffic lights. And particularly early on, that's when you're dealing with so little traffic, you don't need those traffic lights on. So in the inspector tool, you can go to intersections here, and that will allow you to select whether or not you want the traffic lights. You can turn those all off, and that also gives you the option to put in stop signs to sort of allow a bit of priority to the main road. So we'll do that. Everybody has to stop when they get to the end there and let anybody else go. Superb. There we go. A little bustling town starting to happen now. I love watching the people wander around doing their thing. Particularly on 3-speed, they always look very busy. Got stuff to do, let's go. That's fine. Wow, lovely. Look at that. Okay. Well, see, we're off to a pretty decent start here. Things are looking pretty smoothly. The budget is minimal, but you can see we are profitable at least now. We're in the green. We're making some money each week. So hopefully our negative balance should soon be fixed, and we'll be able to start doing some more buildings. Obviously, whilst we have no money, we can't add anything. Hopefully we'll be fine. We've got everything we need for now. Now we'll start seeing some of these pop-ups happening. This particular one here is telling me that building had no one to work at it. That's obviously now been rectified. Other people would have moved in, and we've hit our first milestone. Fantastic. That's what I was looking for. Superb. We are a little hamlet, 440 population, and we've unlocked some stuff to do. We've got some new features. We've got some taxes, some loans, and we've got some new services that we need to add to our city. We have garbage, healthcare, and education. So whilst we're here, I'm going to add those in, and then I think we'll probably wrap up. Nice and easy first section. Hit the first milestone. Let's pop in these new buildings to make sure our citizens remain happy. Because the way this game works, up until we hit that milestone, no one would have cared about the rubbish situation. But now it's unlocked, people will start needing to have their trash collected. So we're going to put in some garbage libs in here with the utilities. We'll select a landfill site. We have other options. There is a recycling centre, but it's very expensive. And we've got other things we need to do and prioritise right now. So we'll start with a landfill site. And as if by magic, I've got a fantastic little space for it here. I'm going to put it in. because to my mind, you know, you're coming into the city, the first thing you're going to want to pass is a big pile of trash. Fine for the industry, have it on that side, have it away, again, away from the people. That creates a massive bubble of pollution. You can see that there. People will not like living anywhere near that, so again, we'll keep it over here with the industry if you don't mind. And what that will do, if we unpause, that will start sending out little garbage trucks to pick up the rubbish. There they go, they're off. Popping around, they have to use the one-way system. That's a bit counterintuitive. Hold on a second, I am going to maybe make this into a two-way road, I think, allow people just to come through there. Yeah, let's do that, because that's a bit much. Right, so now you can come either way down there, which will allow the rubbish bins to come out, go down, and head off down towards the city. Yeah, that's a good idea. Now, what else did we unlock? Let me just remind myself. Taxes and healthcare. Let's take care of taxes whilst I'm thinking about it. So we're going to go back into the economy tab where we were looking earlier. Come back across the taxes, and now we can increase the amounts that we're taxing each different type of zone. So I'm going to instinctively put these up to 12. This is a good early value, as people won't whinge about being taxed too much, but you will obviously get a little bit more cash from each of your zones. So that's a helpful. Imagine number 12%, remember it, use it well. Superb. Right, okay, let's unpause. And we need some healthcare, so let's drop in a clinic. Now these will keep your citizens healthy, and oh, they love that. Look at that. Superb. Oh, we're starting to encounter some issues. People over here, pause, people here, they don't have enough power. You'll always see this when it becomes an issue. It'll always happen off towards the edges of your power grid. So if we come in here, I'll just load one of these. You can see my electricity meter there. My availability is in red. I'm currently needing 13. I'm only producing 10. Now, I'm only producing 10 because we set the budget down for the electricity. So I can immediately increase that. I'm going to put it up to 75 just to cover off what these guys need. That should give us about 15, I assume. So I'm pause and see if that, I should see that pop up into the green again. Boom, look at that. Superb. So then that solves their problems. They can now happily move in and have all the power they need. Lovely. And there we go. That's some early bits. What else did we unlock? Oh, schooling. I haven't got the money to do that, have I? Let's have a little look. Yep, first school is 10 grand. I want to put it there so everybody can have access to a school. Short of money. Let's go back into the economy tab again. We're spending a lot of time in here today, and we'll take out a loan. 20 grand, yes please. It's the only one we can have. Let's take that money and we can use it to pop in a nice little school just here. Now, I'm sorry I've just moved that poor person out. Sorry. And I've also broken a power line. Now I'm hoping that should be fine anyway. Yes, yes it is. We lost a power line here when we placed the school, but because the electricity is spreading via the properties, it still gets to this one, which means the power still comes down to these and doesn't turn off everybody's water all of a sudden. So I would say that is a result. So here we go. Opening city, everything taken care of. We'll start to expand and discuss future expansion plans in the next episode. Feel free to comment, tell me where we want to go with this, what we want to do, if this has worked for you, anything else we want to cover off. I've been Stu, this has been City Skylines, and I'll see you all soon. Take care of yourselves.